Yo people, welcome back to Lion in the Room. Brand new episode. Same thing as always. You got your host Leo, my boy K, and my special guest, one of my favorites, one of my longtime boys from 2019, Kweku Boateng. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Glad to be here.
Lovely stuff, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a while since we've actually been talking.
It's been long, bro. It's been long.
It's good to see you. It's good to see Kola as well. I mean, I like it, bro.
We love the energy, bro. Little clarity, obviously, because we all didn't meet at the same time. Yeah, how about you let the audience know when we first met and how you saw me? Because it's crazy.
It is still a crazy story when you think about it. So I don't know. I came home for like Easter, I think. It was Easter. And it was like 2018, 2019. I can't remember which year exactly. But I went to church with my parents and my mum was like, oh, there's this young boy. I think you need to meet him. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. Meeting some dud guy. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And my mum called Leo over and I was like, he doesn't seem that young because he was obviously tall. And he already look, he haven't changed that much.
Yeah, of course.
He just didn't have as much of a beard. But I remember thinking, he doesn't seem that young. Mum, are you sure this guy's not giving you like football age? I remember thinking that, but I didn't say it. But anyway, yeah. So she invited him to like eat with us that day, and this guy just talked the whole time. Like he was not unfazed at all by being involved with us. He didn't know any of us.
I had to impress.
He barely knew my mom.
I had to impress.
And yeah, well, I remember just thinking he acts like an old man, even though he was 18 at the time. So I just kept tabs on him after that.
The thing is that the old man thing is something that I don't understand, but I'll let you run with it because my mom's always telling me like, oh, present yourself well, innit? So it's always, it's always right to just present yourself well. But the thing is that I talk a lot. So when your mom and your dad were asking me questions like what I wanted to do, what I was going to do in school, that was the opportunity to sell yourself, and also, if anything, that was the first time meeting you guys on Easter Sunday, and then your mom also then invited me to come over to your place and celebrate Easter with you guys. And it was just lovely, man, because it just felt like the chemistry was crazy, bro. We just linked up, it was calm.
Straight up.
And we've been boys since, man. But big up your mom though, because I definitely wouldn't have spoken to you guys, bro. I was shy. I wouldn't have done. I was looking for a church. And I'd seen like Nigerian churches, but you want to try something new. Nothing wrong with it. So I went down to Life Spring Church and my mom was like, talk to the people at the church, let them know you're new and things like that. So you know how they are in church, bro. You're new. They want you to come up to the altar, pray and stuff.
Everybody stand up, shake hands with everybody.
Bro, I was embarrassed.
I hate that stuff.
It wasn't too crazy. I went there and they introduced me to a few people. And I guess I was quite chatty because whenever I was talking, people were listening and they were like, oh, wow, you should come down to this cell group. You should do this. So the next Sunday, or getting closer to Easter, because I found the church either January, February, that's when I went up. I sat upstairs, I think, and after service, that's when your mom saw me, and I was shocked. I was shocked, but I still appreciate the kindness and the love that she showed me because that's one of the reasons why I'm still close to you. So it's nice, man. It's nice, but so we don't go too far, we just get into what we're talking about. Social media is a lovely thing, but like I said, like I was telling you, it's like a double-edged sword. These are things that we enjoy, especially when it becomes, the things that take our time, but sometimes they can bring us down in more ways than we can expect, in more ways than we even think. So I want to ask you quickly, firstly, what was the first social media app that you used and what was your experience with it? First time experience.
First one I used was Facebook. That was because everyone was using Facebook back then. The first social media I used was like in 2010.
Yeah, so how was it like? What got you to get Facebook?
I was honestly just trying to jump on the wave because everybody was on Facebook. At the time I was going to school in Ghana. Back then you just had to follow trends because that was the only way to stay relevant in school, basically. If you weren't on Facebook, like, why are you even in school kind of thing.
True.
So yeah, I got on Facebook and my sister set everything up because she was already on Facebook. So she set me up. She was my only friend for like 2-3 weeks, stuff like that. And I didn't really use it. I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of copying her, more or less.
What they really do on Facebook, because till now, never use Facebook. I use LinkedIn. I probably think LinkedIn's probably the closest I would use to compare, like, you know, or to
LinkedIn
Facebook.
is like Facebook for workers.
Yeah, I'd say
That's
so.
basically what Facebook was. It was like you just post things or pictures of yourself.
And people like them,
People
react
like
to
it,
them,
and react to it.
repost.
It was like a mixture of Insta and LinkedIn matched together.
Imagine putting like, you know, imagine sending some funny video. You send a funny video. On
Yeah, you send it to your entire wall. You don't send
The
it
whole
to people.
connection,
Yeah, like
bro.
everyone sees it. It was weird. It was very weird. But I didn't really use it because, first of all, we didn't have Wi-Fi in my house by design. My mom refused to give us internet in the
damn.
house.
Yeah, fair.
So I only really got to use Facebook like every now and then when we were allowed to. So I'd go to the internet cafe to use Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really use it. The first real, should I say, social media connection was maybe Snapchat and Insta because I got both of them at the same time.
Yeah. Things like Snapchat. I feel like either Snapchat or WhatsApp. We were in Nige.
WhatsApp actually.
I'm telling you, like, for us, like, for me, like, when I was in Nige, bro, like, you're on so many WhatsApp groups. There's the school group, and then there's the school group for the boys, and then there's a school group for the boys where the boys talk about this, the school group for the girls, and the school group for the girls where they allow some boys inside the group, you know. It was crazy. How long did it take for you to, like, branch out and, like, make friends? Like, did you have to ask your friends in school, like, oh, do you have Facebook? Or add me on Facebook, put me on Facebook?
It was one of those things where everyone was talking about it fairly often at the time. So you just mentioned that, oh, I'm on Facebook, and everyone's like, oh, you're on Facebook, add me.
Okay, yeah.
So you didn't have to like approach them too much. But I guess like with girls, sometimes you had to ask them, oh, do you want my Facebook? You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I wouldn't say you had to do too much approaching. Everyone was already asking all the time.
Yeah.
Because for us, especially because I think at the time we were, if it was 2010, we were like only like 12 or like 8 years old or whatever. So we were just using it like how our older siblings were using it. We were just trying to copy them basically. So we didn't know what we were doing. We were just following.
Just having fun.
Just having fun with it. Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing with trends, because we were talking about trends last week, you know, and it's very much akin to celebrities. Once a celebrity starts using something and everyone's kind of understood why, if it's nice, you think, oh yeah, I should hop on this wave, man. Everyone hops on it. Almost everyone, you know. What's that saying? Oh, everybody's uncle is doing it, you know what I mean? So when it comes to that whole Facebook thing, I can definitely see why people were getting on it. There were some people that even used MySpace. I don't even know what MySpace is. You know MySpace. MySpace was a big thing in the US.
Like MySpace was just like, it was like Instagram and Twitter before, like that was what it was. Like basically you had your own page, you had your everything, people would, you know, follow you, see your stuff, and then you kind of post like talk, you know, and people would like either react to it and whatnot, you post your pictures, and so yeah, it was just basically Instagram and Twitter before.
You guys
they
remember
take over.
Do you guys remember Vine?
Yep.
Vine.
Yeah. Okay, your reaction say, because I love Vine, bro. I love Vine.
Vine was good.
That's what made King Batch famous.
Yeah.
He has not been since.
No, I'd say he's not popping as much. You know, that's the thing with the algorithm, bro. Particular things become a lot more interesting, and you know, the things. I still see his videos. Like his videos still get a
We
decent
still
amount of
watch
views.
it because we watched Vine. But a lot of, like say, like a 12-year-old's not going to watch King Batch anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Were we 12?
We were 12.
Yeah, we were 12.
Oh geez.
Nah, King Batch was popular.
He
back
was
then.
the guy back
Like,
then.
I used to think you were so funny, but like when I think about it now, it's
Bro,
like,
I rewatched
It's
some of
true.
those Vines. I'm
It's
like,
true.
why did I find this funny?
like I'm actually starting to think, I've actually started to think you just wasn't funny. You was just funny at that time, like because now you can't tell me King
But it was
Batch
the
is
trend.
funny.
Because there were other people that weren't as funny. There's a guy on Instagram. I hate this because I forget his name and there's like no point bringing him up. But he makes like his reels like he's making vines. Like he's this black guy. He's got like no man, that's not the best way to describe him. But no, not even a black man, but just like what I was gonna say. But going back to the thing with Vine, everything kind of had a period where it was popping off, but it then died out. When you think of other social media sites, they had to adapt, they had to grow so that they could last. Like obviously Facebook's still there, but it's probably not as big as your Instagram account, for example. Like what's your Facebook saying now?
Bro, I don't check that. Just for birthdays.
You see what I mean? It just reminds you. It's like,
I don't even check
Auntie's
the
birthday
reminders
today.
anymore. When I go on Facebook, I'm like, this person's birthday was 2 days ago. I'm like,
Damn.
this person exists?
So you don't even tell them happy birthday. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bad person. It's fine. I've learned to live with it.
Oh man. Oh, okay. My question to you now. Instagram.
Yeah.
You may not be following it as much.
Yeah.
But how would you describe your usage?
Okay, so like I joined Instagram when I was 13, like on my birthday. That was the day I was like I was gonna use that day to get Instagram because before that my mom didn't let me have Instagram, Facebook, nothing.
Really?
The only thing I used to use, I don't know if you guys know this, was BlackBerry Messenger or BB. That was where I was. BBF, you find me there. What's your pin? I just like that. I'll be added to groups with like people I didn't know because like in Ibadan, like we had schools that knew each other. So we'll put like kids from different schools inside different group chats. You just be collecting everyone's pin. Then you just maybe post maybe status updates or something. People just message you, be like, that's what I was. But then I switched over to Instagram when I turned 13. That's when my mom finally, okay, let's me use Instagram. But like we'll watch what it does. And I was using Instagram so much. Like that's when I was King Batch. I don't know if you guys remember 9gag. Do you guys?
Kind of. It rings a bell.
It was like this account that just does like comedy stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant a person.
No, it was like a comedy thing.
Comedy group account. That's just like that was watching everything. Like Instagram. But as I grew older, I was like, this stuff's not really. It's not really it anymore.
It's not as funny
It's
anymore.
not as funny anymore. It's like I tried watching the King Badge video. I saw him do a backflip off the wall. I was like,
Oh, I remember that.
but you do that thing. But that backflip though. I used to think this was the funniest thing ever. When I looked, I was like, what? Like that made no sense. Like, you know, so like
Zero sense.
as I grew
Zero.
older, I stopped using Instagram. But then I switched to Twitter. And I'd say Twitter is like I'm still heavily on Twitter right now.
Twitter's like that cousin at the family reunion, bro. So uncensored.
Yeah, like Twitter is dark, bro. Like Twitter is like because you know there's not really much censorship on Twitter, especially now that it's become X.
Yeah.
It's like there's no censorship, whatever. Like Instagram, you can't post certain things, you probably get your account banned. But like Twitter, they don't care. Like
No, Twitter, bro. You see the craziest stuff. Once the thing with Twitter, the thing with Twitter and its algorithm, like how they work your For You page or whatever they call it, your feed. You can go watch a video about politics, and they'll show you more politic related stuff. Go watch a video about fights. They'll show you more fighting related stuff. They'll start showing you even the darker stuff.
yeah.
Go even darker, and that's the loophole you're gonna follow, man.
Bro,
It's crazy.
it's there. Like
It's crazy.
some of the darkest stuff is there on Twitter.
And
Like
for all you freaky guys as well, you get the same fate too. It's crazy. It's crazy.
it's true.
It's oh man, you click on one thing. Even when it comes to like psychological posts, where they say, "Oh, this feed or what this thread's gonna teach you how to be the best, your best self, your best man," and then like rule number one is saying no to things or whatever. Like once you click on that, that's where you're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get every single time. For me, man, social media, probably the first thing I got, aside from WhatsApp, because WhatsApp seemed like the easiest thing you could get. Connect your phone number to it, boom. Main reasons for having it, message your mom, message your dad. Yeah. I didn't think of having family group chats. And like once in a while, you'd actually be on the group chat with your friends. Oh, I got a phone now. Put my number on the group chat. Put my number on the group chat. Oh, bro. But when it came to using Twitter, I remember... What did I put? Oh my days, my dad got so upset for this, bro. I probably posted something either on Twitter or on Instagram. I remember that night well, and I wrote my ride or die. my friend was in the picture. You guys see the stress on Colin's face. I put my ride or die.
Stress, bro.
And my dad was not having any of it. What do you mean ride or die? Ride or what? So what now? You follow them and die. Bro, this guy was not having it at all, man. And from there, bro, I kind of just, lost the vibe for social media because it was kind of like, oh, I can't really do what I want then because my parents are still going to see it. But aside from that, it was still good. It was still cool. Like I enjoyed seeing the features. I enjoyed seeing the features like on Snapchat most especially, the Bitmoji. That was probably the best thing as a kid that they had, aside from, the flower chain crown that everybody
Bro, that flower chain,
that thing got abused.
That thing was
everybody.
And that flower chain and that, the dog one with the dog.
The tongue that comes out.
Do you know how many? That thing was abused so much.
That
bro.
thing got abused.
That was the original thirst trap.
Bro, that was all the
But you see someone with that, then you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just so bad.
No, man, it was mad.
Different time, man.
Social media is lovely. It works out in both ways. But before we kind of get into what makes social media bad, I want to ask the two of you, if you guys could create your own social media platform, how would you run it? What is your ideal platform?
That's interesting.
Are you going to let things be uncensored? Are you going to let people speak their minds completely? Let people post whatever? Going to be the next Telegram? Because Telegram's crazy.
Bro, Telegram's just used for illegal stuff.
Yeah,
bro.
that's about
Telegram's crazy.
Look at what, that thing that went viral, that they're going to be releasing people's, IP addresses and stuff if you've been involved in, illegal activity and all that. And a lot of people are actually panicking because, it's through Telegram, people are able to see stuff because your, stuff is encrypted. So it's now all the people who are putting out all the illegal stuff that everyone's rushing, deleting everything.
It's crazy.
But in regards to that question, I think I'll probably go with let it be uncensored, truthfully, as long as it's not illegal. When I say let it be uncensored, obviously, if you want to give an opinion, you give an opinion. That's fine. If you want to post something that you might be considered controversial, fine. At the end of the day, it's free speech. But in terms of if you're posting illegal stuff, if you're trying to say oh look, I got some of it, none of that. So we'll still have moderation, but just as long as it's legal. But in terms of just allowing people to say the things that they say, then that's fine. I think I'd follow more of a style of Reddit. You guys know Reddit? Yeah, that's what I'm actually on most of these days. It's it has each forum has okay, this topic for this topic for that. Don't be posting one topic here, because at least there's order. Because the thing with free speech and allowing people to say, it can just get out of control real quickly. People just start saying things, just for the fun of it. And it's okay, at least where there's moderation and order, you're still allowed free speech. It's just you have to do it at this place or at that place.
True. What about you, Koku?
I don't know.
You're thinking something devious right now.
I'm not devious. I'm deep in
free speech.
I'm deep in what he's saying. I agree with what he's saying. It's okay to give people free speech, but I feel I'd put a tiny bit more limitations on what I would deem as free speech.
Okay.
Because I know it's mad to say this, but not everyone should have an opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree.
Some people they just go on there to create havoc. They have no interest in actually sharing a true opinion. They're just
there to
on madness. I don't know how else to put it.
They're just there to be a troll and just spread just horrendous opinions.
And they don't realize the impact that it has on other people. I get it. It's how you want to express yourself. But if you don't take the time to think about it and you'd still choose to do it, somebody should hold you accountable if you offend people in a certain way.
True.
That's a fair point, actually.
So that's how I'd see it. So in those situations, I'd probably reprimand them a bit more. So that's why I'd say I put more limitations.
Yeah,
but
okay, fair
it's been until you offend, I won't stop you.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I'd do it.
Yeah.
If I had to think about it.
Okay. That raises a question for me. Would you say social media have been lenient with the way they tackle inappropriate posting, things like that? Or would you say they're kind of biased in how they approach those things? Because there have been times that we've seen particular things that we
Yeah.
that should definitely be
Yeah,
removed. You
yeah,
get what I mean?
yeah,
But it's
100%.
still there.
Yeah.
And even after petitions and things, it's still there and it becomes nothing.
100%. I agree. I think I think social media is biased. Like honestly, like the moderation in today's social media society trend, whatever you want to call it, is very biased. Like I'm speaking from the perspective of I'm on X, Twitter, and Instagram. Would I say Reddit? Reddit to an extent, but less than Twitter and Instagram. Say for example now, like obviously we have a lot of people have a lot of opinions, especially with racist rhetoric. It's like, okay, because they're not using slurs, they just kind of leave it. Like, because it's not using direct slurs or direct harmful offensive contact, they're kind of going about it in a roundabout way. Say, for example, now, there's this 50% argument that a lot of racist white people do on social media. Basically, in America, there's 13% of like the total population, 13% of that is black people. They then use the fact, but black people supposedly commit 50% of the crimes. So it's like, the point they're making is like, so blacks commit more crimes than whites. But in that regard, they fail to admit the fact that 50% of said crimes that they're convicted for, they get exonerated, meaning they didn't do it. So they're being convicted of crimes they didn't do. But here's the thing. They're using that to now say that's their culture. Like, committing crimes is their culture. So you can obviously see it's racist, but it's like, because it's not a slur, it's a statement, opinion, it's now let to be. And it breeds this topic of stereotype, it breeds more hate towards black people. And it's allowed on this platform. It's constantly on the platform. Like even if you report it, you remove it from what you want to see, you'll still come across it again, So like, that's where I feel it's biased. And considering the fact that the person that bought Twitter and turned it into X, Elon Musk, I think he's racist. So it's like,
Most
you can
rich
see
white
it. So
people
it's
are.
like, he's not against it. So why is he gonna get it removed?
But then I guess, excuse me, in terms of how he's handling X as a social media page, would you not kind of say, unfortunately, because I hate it as well, bro, racism is terrible. It's a crazy form of bullying, but wouldn't you say it's still part of free speech?
I mean, yeah, you could say it's free speech, but there's always like, free speech is free speech at the end of the day. But at the same time, you have to remember that because you have free speech doesn't mean you can always still bear consequences to some of the things that you say. Because at the end of the day, truthfully, you can say absolutely whatever you want to say, but you can't now dictate how someone will react towards what you have said.
True. So there must be consequences for the person that said that.
Exactly.
Simple and short. That's how it should be.
It is free speech. You still have the free speech. Like you have the right to say this, and someone has the right to react and make actions in accordance with that reaction.
That's cool. Well, at the end of the day, we're not here to decide whether social media tackles that, squarely. It's there for us to see. But something that I should raise is, the posting of crimes committed, the showing. We've definitely seen videos of particular rappers, gangbangers getting shot and killed on IG Live.
Yeah.
Why are you on Instagram Live at that point? Why are you in a chase with the police on IG Live?
Yeah.
These aren't things that I'm just making up randomly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh damn, that's a black guy doing it. I ain't seen a white guy do it. So it's like, oh,
yeah,
make it make sense, which is a hard pill to swallow. I'm not coming out to say, well, come on, you guys do it. But the thing is kind of like, you shouldn't post it. Because if you post it, then people that are not ready to think open-mindedly are going to stereotype you.
Yeah.
We're already going to get stereotyped anyways.
You get stereotyped every damn thing.
Of course, bro, of course. But anyways, adversity makes the man stronger. Adversity makes the man stronger. That's all I'm going to say. But when it comes to, excuse me, things that you put out on social media, you shouldn't be showing the wrongs.
Yeah.
Social media shouldn't be leaving the wrongs, because at the end of the day, they can see that and be like, that's a bit too offensive, or that's a bit too crude, or that's this. Not saying that black people always get into fights or black people do whatever, but in cases where black people are showing other black people getting into fights, how many cat fights, how many girl scuffles have you guys seen on Instagram? How many?
Quite a few, actually.
Exactly.
Too many.
Exactly. And who's recording them? Black people.
Okay.
Imagine you got into a fight and you saw some white guy, not even your friend, just recorded.
I think the thing with that is that because there's already like this stereotype around black people are a lot more sensitive to seeing, like, when you see, so say for example now someone sees like 5 videos of black people fighting. There's already a stereotype around black people that they're aggressive, they're violent. So it's going to make it so much easier for them to just run with the narrative.
So how do you work around that? What I'm trying to say is kind of like, if you two got into a fight,
Okay.
the thing that's stopping everyone else from knowing is the fact that I haven't picked up my damn camera.
Yeah.
The world doesn't need to know, but sometimes it's not general, it's not the whole world. Black people be doing this. Oh damn, look, they fighting. And then they start recording.
I mean, that's a fair point.
Scrapping in school, they record. It's the world star.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But, white people do this as well, like, in the sense of like...
But the unfortunate thing, sorry to cut you in again,
Yeah.
but then it's kind of like, that's where the stereotyping and the racism comes in. They make it seem like that's all black people do.
Yeah.
So to challenge it, because you can't go tell a white person, I'm not a thug. And then they call you thuglicious in their mind or something. Like, they're still going to do whatever they want, bro. But at the end of the day, like, what can you do to control your own situation? So to avoid yourself being there, bro, you kind of, I feel like you can do a few things different.
I feel like you're asking a question about something that has been happening long before social media. Bro.
Of course.
Like this, the only problem is social media is making it more seen.
Yeah.
But listen, it's one of those things where it's not only how we behave, it's also how we're kind of pushed to behave in a way. At least in America, at least that's what I see.
Yeah.
And in the UK, like, it's not that they don't, they just let us destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
And unless you're educated enough, which unfortunately a lot of people in our community don't get the right kind of education. I'm not saying they're not educated. I'm saying that they don't get the right kind, that they're not aware of what's really happening in society.
That is true.
And so for you to say, how do we make things better? The first thing is to start from scratch.
Yeah, of course. I'm not even trying to bring up the whole how can we start better, but it's kind of like the same thing I told you, bro. It's like taking accountability, Everyone at the end of the day kind of has to sit down and you kind of take the reins. You can't be on autopilot forever. You're not gonna see a fight happening and get into a fight, or you're not gonna see a fight happening and start to record. If it's something that is not important to you, you can just not record it. What I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't be having people showing these things.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be having people showing these things. I'm not saying that black people fight a lot.
Yeah.
Other people are saying that. But what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to point out, is that there is another black person recording it. Why are you recording it? Oh, damn, these two hoes fighting. This. You're going to see it on Twitter.
That's what I'm saying. If you educate, there'll be less people. The guy will think twice before he actually
Why do I need to educate a brother on why he shouldn't embarrass his boy?
Know.
Yeah, it's true. He actually doesn't know.
But no, think about it, Kate. We're boys. I don't need to go to school to know that I'm loyal to you. If you're fighting, I'm either jumping in if it's needed, or I'm stopping it some way. I start recording my boy getting jumped. Think about it. You see where I'm coming from?
Okay.
You see
I get
where
when
I'm
you say it
coming
like that.
When you say it like that, I get what you mean. Like,
but I hear you when you say there are a lot of people that aren't educated, but I would say people that are not aware of the principle or the moral in that perspective, because if that's your homie, you're not going to let your homie embarrass himself. If that's your girl, you're not going to let your girl get jumped or get played or any of that stuff, bro. So and you wouldn't want anyone to record your homie. Imagine after the recording, damn, that was rough, bro. That was tough.
You recorded it.
you see, I want to give a little bit of an angle here. I get what you've actually been saying. So now here's the thing. A lot of people, in terms of their product of their environment, when you fight and you win, it's like rep. Like you're seen as like, okay, you get stuff done. So it's like when two people are fighting, and say like one of the guy's friends is watching, he's recording. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos where it's like, oh, they say, get him, bro, like, get him, bro, like, you know, because they're taking their phones out to watch their homie beat up a guy. So it's like, it's going to boost the homie's rep. Because, like, in that environment they grew up in, that is like, he's doing his bro a favor. Now the world's going to see that he knows how to fight, you know? And it's like, it's usually in, unfortunately, low income neighborhoods where people, education is not really like the focus. Like, people don't see a way out with education. They usually see a way out either trapping or dropping music or they're doing sports or something like that. So it's like they don't have that just a mental awareness to understand that this is not doing your bro a favor. This is detrimental because one, you're recording a crime and posting it for the police to see. And two, it's just like you're building into that stereotype. Like, oh yeah, you know, he's always
Forming
fighting.
a narrative.
You're forming the narrative. To him, he might think it's like, oh yeah, like I'm doing bro a favor. Like, yeah, you know, they're gonna see my bro is like that kind of guy. So that next time maybe they step out, they see this guy, oh, this is that guy on the video that beat that guy up. I better not try and mess with him or anything like that. You know, so like that's just the cycle. So it keeps happening. And unfortunately, because it's already in a low, impoverished, low-income neighborhood, they're not thinking of, oh, I wonder what the white people are saying about me today. They don't care.
Okay.
They don't care, but they should care about themselves though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you might be doing the homie a favor by showing the whole world that nigga got hands, that other nigga might have a strap or a shank or a little thing. I'm just saying, oh, if I'm to keep it on, you know, the social on the whole social media embarrassment thing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't record.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't record if I didn't have to, because recording does come in handy, and we'll get into that. But last thing I'll say before the little break,
Yeah.
people need to look at themselves in higher perspectives. I've always wanted my audience to know that Lion in the Room is a social topics podcast where we are able to break down topics and situations and then try to understand them to better ourselves. So I'm going to do this now before cutting this a little bit. I believe for myself as a Christian, like, I've been made in the image of God. Yeah. Regardless, this is not me talking about, you know, things happening in the world, but if I'm created in the image of God, I should think of myself in, you know, in better light. But sometimes life gets hard. You know, I might end up falling into peer pressure. I might end up, you know, falling into some sort of depression or like a down mood. I might end up becoming someone that I'm not. But if I can remind myself that these are the things that happen in life and I can pick myself up, it's a lot better than fitting a stereotype or allowing myself to fit a narrative that a whole bunch of other people choose to describe other people they probably have never met. You know what I mean? A lot of people need to realize that you can't sit down and follow just because everyone's doing, because that's how a lot of people get killed. That's how a lot of people end up in positions where they hold their heads in their hands and they're like, yeah, like, I shouldn't have done this. Or some people hypnotize themselves, yeah, I'll do it again, and things like that. You know, like, life is already hard as it is, man. You need to sit down and think of a way to balance it out. You get what I mean? Like, maneuver it. But we'll be back from the break. All right, so we all know we definitely see some funny stuff on social media as well. Instagram particularly. I don't normally use TikTok. I know you do you use TikTok?
I do now.
You on TikTok?
I do as well.
Yeah. I see most of my reels from Instagram. But before we get into reels, bro, how about funny encounters? You know, when you get those random messages from either like private accounts that seem to be real, then you realize they're not because their pictures only have like 15 likes and they have thousands of followers. Man, I remember PS5 times again though. I needed money because after the first time I tried to buy a PS5 and the scalpers cleared off everything, imagine wasting £450, £49. So I had to get more money. Now it seems like every time I need something, I want to buy some new clothes, Instagram's going to show me some new clothes. I need to make money, Instagram's going to show me a new way to make money, some betting thing or whatever. So they showed me, I think it was getting PS5s on the cheap, so just slightly cheaper. The guy had tons, and you could buy some for like maybe 300 and something. So I remember talking to him, and this guy always called me brother. He's like, yes, brother. Yeah, yes, brother. I have this for you, brother. I can send you this PS5, brother. You go check his account, or whoever he is. You know those pictures where you see like stacks of PS5s.
Those stock photos of PS5 stacked up to the roof.
Stacked up.
Oh, that's I
stacked
can already
up.
tell where the story is going.
And bro's telling, don't worry, I didn't buy one because the guy was telling me that now he's got tons of PS5s. There's so many people saying that they've bought the PS5s. Like he had almost like close to 100 people to show me. I thought people weren't buying these things. Where are people buying these PS5s from? So I ended up waiting. I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for none of that. But the one time I wanted to get into one of those things was when I was betting. I was betting on basketball games and stuff. Remember that time, okay?
Yeah, I remember. That was bet 365, bro.
And we're betting, bro. I remember it was that was really hit or miss because we either made money or you
lost
didn't.
money.
You lost tons.
Place bets.
I remember we come back from work, bro, just to watch the playoffs. Just to watch the playoffs, bro. Play some bets. You place your bets, yeah? Yeah, this. Make sure you put 9 rebounds, bro. Don't go for 10. Don't go for 10. Nigga gonna go for 10. I told you shouldn't have gone for 10.
We've lost money now.
Oh, my days, bro. So around the time that I was betting, once in a while, I'd win. Bro, imagine like playoff nights. Phoenix Suns playing the LA Clippers. I put a few things, bro. I put a lot of things. It was a whole bet builder, bro. I won like 410 pounds that night. And I was going to work the next morning. I did not sleep. So after a while, like money wasn't coming my way anymore now. So they started showing me all these prediction masters or whatever. So I decided to hit up one guy. I hit this guy up, bro, and I tell him like, yeah, no, I'm trying to get into this thing. He's like, yeah, you want to join my Telegram? And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, cool. What do I have to do? So, you have to pay like around £800 for a month. And I'm like, what?
1 month.
£800 is like, yeah, because the return is so much greater. I looked at that shit, bro, and I said £800. I was like, yeah, guy, you've wined me enough, bro. I'm not even going to waste time, bro.
You know what? He could have even deceived you if he said like 25, like 25. Okay, maybe it's worth it because it's just 25. 800.
800 is wild.
Pounds.
800.
I said, like, he showed me his Telegram, bro. I clicked on the Telegram. You see, like, bet master, predictor, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. They used to bet on fixed games, you know, because there are obviously some fixed games around. Till today, God in heaven knows, I don't know whether that brother was telling the truth or not, but I regret small because I feel like he's making money. I feel like it's either he's making money or he has a very good photo editor for Paddy Power, bro, because there's no way you're showing me 30k, 15k, 10k, 8k, and he's telling me this could be you, brother. And I'm like, oh, no, get out of my phone. Don't. I wanted to block him.
Too much of a gamble, though.
It's a very big gamble, but then he brought it down. And every time I think back to it, I'm just like, maybe I should have tried it. I would have lost the money, but I'll never know. I'll never.
What did he bring it down to?
He brought it down to like 500. He brought it down to 500. It's not worth it still, but it did get my head wagging a little bit. I was kind of like,
I feel like that was a scam. Like
probably.
That felt like a scam. He's asking for too much money.
Because there's a thing that people would do. They'll like put an outrageous price. Like they'll put an outrageous price as the first thing. That's not the actual price. And then they were like, okay, for you, I'll bring it down to this. And that is actually their actual starting selling price. They just made you think they've given you a discount.
Oh my days. Go ahead, my boy.
Well, mine is different. It's nothing like that. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a period in time where people were going on people's Facebooks and just writing random stuff on there. We used to call it fraping.
Fraping? What?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Basically, you just go
Not
and embarrass
enlightened.
someone. It's
Okay.
nothing bad, not that bad. But basically, like let's say,
Is it like doxing? It's not like doxing, is it?
what's
No,
doxing?
doxing is like when you reveal someone's address, first
No,
name,
not
last
like
name.
that. You literally go on there. Let's say like you just say like you go on someone's page and be like, "I love this person," and it's like someone in school that everyone kind of knows. Yeah, like it's like proper embarrassment.
That's doxing for high school.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. I think one time I left my phone like just open.
Oh.
Amateur move. I don't know why I did it. I trusted those guys too much. They went on my Facebook. They wrote all kinds of things, and they started messaging bare girls, all kinds of random stuff. And I was getting so many messages back. Like my family members were messaging me.
Really? Oh.
That was crazy. They even did. They got my brother as well. I remember because Kobe's classmates did it to him as well. And I think all they wrote was he's gay. Like Kobe like on his page like I'm gay, and my parents called him immediately. Immediately.
No.
Yeah, and that's what it was like a trend of that was happening. I don't know what year it was, 2014, 2015. But yeah. That day was one of the most stressful times for me because there's a lot of apology messages being sent back.
But
It wasn't me, my phone, somebody did it, but that was what people were doing. They thought it was hilarious.
Damn,
But
bro.
wait, I just want to ask: did any of the girls like?
Yeah. Did any girls come up? Because
Did any girls come up?
it would be a victory story if, someone came and was like, yeah, no, I
Like
actually
even if
like you
just
too.
one, even if it was just one.
I mean, I guess I got one good reaction, like in person. Like she messaged me, but she said something to me like, "Oh, you sent this message." Just was smiling. That was
Okay.
it.
That is a victory.
That is a victory.
we'll
but
take it.
I mean,
We'll take it. That's
I'm
a dub.
sorry, a lot of L's compared to one victory.
That is the thing,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
If you shoot 50 shots and you make it once, you won.
It was a lot. It wasn't because it wasn't just they specified it. They found out if it was a family member or a girl or like a random person. Like they were sending specified messages. They knew how to make it embarrassing.
That's crazy.
And yeah, that's maybe like the funniest thing that's happened to me with social media. But because I'm not too big on the whole putting myself out there, so people don't get a chance to like properly embarrass me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. For me, the funniest thing that happened to me on social media, there was this time where like for some reason I was plagued by I think they're bots. I call them bots. Basically, like all those bots of like beautiful women, they'll be messaging you on Instagram and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're so handsome," and this, that, and the other. Truthfully, I can admit I fell for the first one. I was thinking, yeah, I'm here.
I mean, we all probably fell for the first one, bro. Oh man, you see so many different. They'll come like your picture. They'll like the picture that I have. This picture. I don't think I looked as good as I do now. I wasn't going to the gym before then, and I flexed. Do you know how many bots like that picture? Go check their account, bro. They have like maybe like 13 or 15 or 57 followers or something, and they always have a booty picture.
Yeah, always have a booty picture.
And you just be there like, yeah, man, I'm in there. But then like, it's nothing. It's just random.
Bro, I was thinking, like, in fact, they even managed to get me on Snapchat. Like, they added me on Snapchat. I added them back. Like, they added me on Snapchat. They added them back. It would be like a random name. They'd be like something like Emily X Roses. And I was thinking, okay, it's a girl named Emily.
True.
And they used to post on Snapchat, like, themselves.
Make them seem like they're real.
Make them seem like they're real. Like, real full body stuff. Sometimes it was a bit explicit. It was a bit crazy. But, like, I was thinking, yeah. And then one day I was like, okay. So I just kept I messaged and then it just ghosted. Like it ghosted. And then the next thing I saw was like this subscription fee. Like pay 25 to see more. I was just like, you got me. I give you credit for that. You got me. After that, I never ever, like even till today, sometimes I still get likes on my Insta by some like lady, maybe even if she has 300, I just don't even answer at this point. I mean, I'm in a relationship, but like even if I was single,
I'm about to say,
like, even if I was single, I wouldn't even answer it because like I already know this is fake. Like I'm familiar with your game.
Speaking of questions, speaking of relationships, last question to ask you guys. How has social media played a part in building relationships? Because we all know that way back when it was either letters or pigeons. How has social media benefited, building relationships, be it with your sweet one or be it with a pen pal?
I'll go first. I'm ready. You know, I'm in a long distance relationship right now. It's been like that
For the time being.
yeah, for the time being. It's been like that for 3 months. Social media is quite literally
The
keeping
only
it
way.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like either that or we do like pigeon stuff and all that, and it's just like what else do we got? Because we can't see each other. So, we have to rely on text, FaceTime and all that. So I'd say social media quite literally is at this
Yeah.
current moment, like probably a foundation in my relationship right now. So,
Yeah, I was about to say like this is the same for me. Like social media, when I did long distance with my girl over the 2 months when I was in Ghana, if it wasn't for social media, I don't know. It really, really like for the first time ever, I was on socials religiously. Religiously. Before then, you wouldn't catch me on anything for too long.
Damn.
But because of social media, I was on because I wasn't there and I needed to do it. I finally saw some good in social media for myself personally because I use socials when I feel like it, but with her when back then I was using it religiously because it was the only way to keep, like you said, that connection. So yeah, I guess it does help in that way a lot.
That's good. Don't know why you guys are just talking about your ladies though. What about your boys? What about your friends? What
Of
about
course.
family?
But like I said, like those ones you can jump in and out of
I
it.
just like my lady a lot.
I do. I love you, baby.
Darling, this is for you.
Isn't that cute? That's lovely. Well, I get where you guys are coming from, and obviously you didn't mean anything by just speaking about your your partner. When you look at the way technology has worked out for us as human beings, as people, it's lovely, man. It's good. But at the same time, there's always going to be some kind of comma. There's always going to be some kind of issue. Mainly just because there will always be some bad with the good.
Yeah.
Social media is lovely, man. You're talking with family, let's say, like for me and Kay, for example, we're away from home. We're not in Niger right now. So we do have family members, we do have friends that we can either talk to, that might want to talk to us, or we haven't spoken to in ages, man. Social media helps out because we can then reach out to those people. Come on, bro. A video call a lot of times makes it feel like the person's in the room.
Yeah.
Even when it's not, though, it just kind of feels that way. And that's lovely. Being able to pass a message, being able to send an email and get that straight away to your boss, even though he might not look at it till the next day or something like that.
It's there.
It's really helpful. But then it can become very negative when people start to, start to send provocative stuff, derogatory images, or, spreading an agenda that's false, or things that, scare people and things like that. But at the end of the day, that is all based off of the life of the person that's doing it. You're not probably going to do it. You're not probably going to do it. I might do it. I might not do it. You're never going to really know, you know what I mean? But as people, that's where you have your morals and your principles. And you kind of have to look at it that way because that's what stops you from being like everybody else. And that's what kind of makes you unique and might want to make people be like you. Social media will always be lovely. And we're at this time time where we're always going to need it. It's not going anywhere, but it's definitely improving for the better and for the worse because there's always going to be bad things coming out of it.
I'd say that's the risk of social media because like in its title, it's social.
Yeah.
So when something is social, there's, like you said, good and bad bits. So there's a risk because obviously with the good and everyone keeping in contact, using it, there's also the bad bits where people put in their messed up views and all kinds of things that you don't even realize have an effect on you. Like,
True.
Until I took social media breaks, I didn't realize how much it was affecting the way I think on a day-to-day basis.
True. Exactly. You just reminded me about something I wanted to add. Because you guys can definitely add your own thoughts on it. Social media is very all, illusions. You see a person's video and then that affects the way you look at yourself. But you don't know that person's probably set up that camera for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Tried taking like 5 takes, worked on the lighting to make it look like the house that they don't own is theirs and it's so lovely and they're so lavish. It might be. There are those people that have worked hard and have that great life. But you can't forget that these people worked hard. So you don't need to feel bad because you haven't reached that level. You still need to push for your dreams. It's going back to episode 2. The same thing I said with Kay. You have to have dreams. Dreams are what keep you pushing. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5, but if it's your dream to excel there, excel. If it's not, then you have to find something to, you know, keep your life going. But social media is a time waster, and at the same time, it also helps you to find out what to do with your time, positively and negatively. So you kind of have to choose one. Like, you see Will Smith, man, you end up loving Will Smith and what he does as an actor, and he kind of falls out of the limelight. You can't completely just change your perspective on Will Smith, bro. Unless, like, I mean, he's a complete psychopath and an evil person and is completely wicked. But even his lifestyle, it shouldn't bother you so much to the fact that you feel like your life is terrible because you don't have what he has, you know? Because that's what a lot of people do. And that's what kind of pushes some people to negative stuff like crime or stealing or, you know, doing provocative things or sexually persuasive stuff. You know, come on, bro. No one's going to tell me that an OnlyFans girl or a trapper or a drug dealer is doing that because that's the only thing they could do.
Yeah.
That was probably the best thing they could do for themselves. That was probably the best thing that they could do to make themselves feel like they're getting somewhere. Everything else is probably too hard or no time or no one's going to take me. They're not going to take a lot of people. That is true. But they're always going to take the person that worked hard. There will be a bit of nepotism, and we'll get into that at some point in an episode. But you're never going to know until you get there. But if you don't get there, you're always going to be comfortable. And a comfortable life isn't something that people want. Be comfortable at the end, but struggle because you're going to feel so much better for it. You're going to be like, yeah, I did this. I'll use myself as an example. I haven't done this podcast in 3 years, and now I'm going to have 5 episodes. It makes me feel good, man. It makes me feel nice, bro. It makes me feel cool. And those are things that you will not get to see unless you do it. My dad's happy. Like, my dad, even adding, shout out to Wave FM. They got me on a radio session today.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah. So Wave FM is a radio studio in Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Yeah, he knows Wave FM.
I know Wave.
And I was on talking about Lion in the Room for a good 10 minutes. So a big shout out to you guys. I love the family in Port Harcourt. Thank you guys for having me on, and I would definitely love to be there again. But I wouldn't have been doing that 3 years ago. I wouldn't.
That's fair.
And someone might be like, "Oh, small radio, brother." It's big to me, bro.
It's still
it's big. It's big to me, man. So work hard.
Stones.
You have to work hard, bro, because that's the only way for you to feel good about yourself.
Hey,
You have to work hard,
this is
man.
for you. Work hard. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams.
Honestly,
Because that's all we got. really.
honestly.
That's your motivation, you know?
Well, anyways, man, you guys have any questions for your lovely host?
So, what do you think we're gonna do for the 10th episode?
The 10th episode.
Should probably be like a special.
Something
or something.
commemorative.
The 10th episode will be really nice. I'm gonna love editing the. Just so you guys know, I edit all the videos myself, man. It's crazy, but I'm really
you'll
gonna
be like,
enjoy
okay,
editing the
yeah,
videos.
editing all the videos.
It's gonna be nice, bro. We can do
Q&A? I don't know.
We could do a Q&A. I need to bring up the social media page, like an Instagram page. I do need to make a TikTok at some point. Is there any need for a podcast on TikTok?
I mean, yeah, of course.
There's enough
Like,
of them
just
there.
to show some
Just
snippets.
add yourself in there, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, if the guys have any questions, ask them in the comments. We might answer them if we ever do a Q&A, but like
I'll try and bring it out there so that, like, at least this is episode 5, so episode 6 probably we could have a Q&A. That would be lovely. But you can tell from my smile, man, I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy
Look at
doing
you
this with
guys
people.
getting a little behind the scenes
It's
magic.
not. Is it really behind the scenes, or we just talking?
Yeah, but brainstorming.
Yeah,
with, like the guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
But no, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kwaku, for being on the podcast for us, bro. I really appreciate it, my guy.
Special guest, Kweku.
Come on.
Had to do it. I haven't seen you guys in a minute anyway. So
Yeah, it's been a while, bro. You've been traveling. You've been going up and down.
doing a lot.
Working man, innit?
That's how it goes, man. It's funny because I'm actually just teaching, but somehow I just keep
But you're still
doing a
working.
lot. I'm doing a lot. I am
working.
doing a lot. I've been busy.
That's how it
You're
needs
best
to
to be a
man.
productive member of society. You should be happy.
better than nothing, man. Better
Honestly,
than
It's
nothing.
really
I
bad.
just want the peace to start flowing. That's what it is.
We all want the peace to start from learning, but if we keep at it, something will come up.
Exactly. The grind don't stop.
100%.
Grind don't stop.
100%. This has been lovely. Well, guys, that is the end of our session. Lion in the Room, episode 5, with my lovely friend Kweku, my boy. Thank you, guys. This has been Leo, Kola, Kweku. Don't forget to check us on Spotify, Amazon Music. We will soon have a social media page on Instagram, so that will be promoted soon. But like I said, work hard, hug your mom, love your dad, take care, God bless you.
Use social media correctly.
Yeah.
Don't send booty pics.
Bye, guys.